Hi everyone, it is Wednesday and it is a new moon today and we're starting the HO2 cleanse online group Spring 4th is what we're calling this. So we are right in alignment with the spring season and we are on our call. I'm very excited about this group that we have joining the cleanse today. I have a few participants that I know are at work because we are in the middle of a work day when we're starting our group cleanse, but the beauty of this program is that you can always dial it back and do the playback number and watch the video to be able to get the message and kick off and kickstart your cleanse together with the group. So by now many of you have received all of your kits, all of your information, your tools to use to help complement you. The recipe list has been distributed and I've gotten so many emails from you all just regarding your excitement and your preparation for this cleanse, and I really appreciate that. I've noticed with this group a really big connection, a really big commitment to setting up, getting their materials printed out into a binder so that they can journal and do love notes, and people have just really been excited about getting this kicked off. And so I actually have my computer here because I want to share with you some of the intentions that were emailed to me about how to start this cleanse and how people wanted to get their words out there, their voice out there, and what goals and objectives they have in moving through this cleanse for the next 5 days or 9 days. We have people doing the 5-day cleanse and we have people doing the 9-day cleanse. And some are doing, I've had questions wondering if it was fine to continue the diet after they finish the herbs for the 5 days and just continue through the 9 days. Of course. For those of you out there who are still like a little bit on the fence, you can always go to hariatma.com, HARIATMA.com, and go under the Buy Now link, and there is a PDF, a food list that you can order. You can actually do this cleanse without the herbs. Just order the diet and do it with us that way. I myself am personally going to be doing a fruit fast, which I started this morning, and I have some of my things here that I'm using to help with my, fruit fast that I'm going to be doing. So basically 3 times a day I'm having a bowl of fruit. So I have this bowl of cut up grapefruit here that's going to start me off. And in the mornings what I'm doing, instead of the green smoothies, I'm doing a spirulina mana. And I've been loving this. I actually have started a little bit of pre-cleansing myself for about a week now. My fiance and I have been going at it because he's actually going to join me for this cleanse this time around. And we've been doing this spirulina mana. And when I tell you, oh my gosh, first of all, I've been feeling the difference in my body from taking it. But I think whenever you're taking a supplement, the same thing happens with me when I'm making the herbs for the HO2 tonic or when I'm making the herbs for the female tonic. I feel this draw, this pull to the herbs. And whenever you're looking for supplements or things to include for your body, it's always helpful to tune in to how you feel when you're holding it in your hand, how you feel when you're mixing it, when you're preparing it, when you consume it. And sometimes things don't always taste that great, but you can sort of feel this deep sort of like longing for it. And it's really the body calling out to say, this is the nutrient that I'm missing, this is the nutrient that I need. And that's sort of a really easy general rule of thumb in terms of choosing supplements, even when you're choosing foods. I call it sort of intuitive, food guidance, or intuitive, really tuning into your intuitive food choices. So this spirulina mana and I have really got a thing going on. So check it out. I've been doing it, just mixing it in water in a jar and shaking it up and then just drinking it down that way. I don't mind the seaweed taste. It feels so, it's like sort of like my body craves it in the morning. I'm looking forward to drinking that. The other thing that I do to help me get the water dosage down, and this may help you too, I'm very visual, so I fill up 2 of these jugs every morning. And I pretty much just have them around me, either coming with me in the car or around, and I sort of like prepare myself so that I don't end up at the end of the day with 2 big things like this, having to try to guzzle a lot of that down before bed. So I just pace myself throughout the day to get my water in. Always drinking your water before you eat, not while you're eating. and waiting about 45 minutes after you eat to drink your water, so you're not diluting the nutrients from the food that you have and interfering with your digestion. So that's a good rule of thumb. And what it also helps is when you drink the water in first before you eat, it sort of is like your pre-meal. I always look at it, when I drink water, I really feel as though my water time is like food time. It's like I'm eating. So it helps to sort of fill up your stomach so that you don't overeat as well. So it's a great tool to use, a little trick that works in your body really, really well. So I just want to check in and see if there's anyone that's joined the call so far. Okay, so I don't hear anyone joined in, but that's okay because I knew that a lot of you were going to be out of this call today, but playing it back. So what I want to do is go ahead and go through some of the intentions, because one of the purposes for this call is for us just collectively as a group to kickstart our cleanse together. And so one of the things that I love to do is I like to do a little ceremonial toast using the tonic, drinking it down together at the same time. So as you're listening to this, maybe you can get to your fridge and get your tonic out. But I'm going to save that for the end. So just kind of work on, maybe you're in your car, I don't know where you are listening to this call, but sort of get yourself ready to do a ceremonial toast, because guess what? You get to do it at your time, and that's the beauty of doing this the way that we're doing it through a virtual online network. Okay, so we're going to save that towards the end, but just kind of get yourself ready for it. But right now what I want to do is I want to share different intentions. So first, I want to share my intention. So I've cleansed and I've done my cleanse so many years, and every time it's different. As many times as I've done it, each time is different. Each time I experience a new layer, and each time I have something more that I learn that I can share with you and help you to make your cleanse better. So what I'm hoping to get from my cleanse this time in doing a fruit fast, where I'm doing these 3 bowls of fruit a day, and I'm including Bio-K fermented rice yogurt is what I'm also including, and then I'm including the spirulina mana. Those are really the only staple things that I'm using, along with bee pollen to help combat. There's a lot of pollen in the Los Angeles air right now, so I've been taking in lots of bee pollen to help to keep my allergies at bay. So if you're one of those people that gets affected a little bit by the pollen count, add in some bee pollen instead of the Claritin, instead of the over-the-counter drugs. But back to intention setting. So what I'm hoping to gather from this cleanse is a balance in my body, mind, and spirit. So just a reset. Because it's spring, I just want to come back to that neutral place. And I feel like because I started this, I did a lot of pre-cleansing for the past couple of weeks. I've already started doing more fruit. I've started doing more spirulina. I feel like I already feel great right now starting. And so, gosh, I highly recommend doing some of the prep work, because I can't tell you how I feel so ready for the cleanse, even more prepared than ever, because I sort of started shifting my diet before. So what I'm hoping out of, the 9 days that I'll be doing this is to just understand some new information in my body and how these fruits, how going on this type of a mono fruit diet affects me. I'm going to be paying really close attention to that. And I've already given myself the leeway to stop it early, because I'm actually not wanting to lose a pound at all. I'm really happy with the size that I am. It's really more just the internal balance that we're always seeking sometimes with cleansing. Sometimes it's weight loss. Sometimes it's just the internal balance. And so I really feel this connection and really want to have, keep the weight in back. I don't want to lose any more pounds. That's the summary. So I'm going to give myself 3 days, and I'm just going to kind of check in with myself to see how I'm feeling, because I don't want to get to a place where my body's going, okay, it's time to shed weight. That's not the type of detox that I want to get into, but I want to clear the palate and just kind of get that discipline back of not eating after sundown, and just getting myself in a rhythm again where food is not, it's not so much on your mind. Like when you have it sort of down to like, well, I'm going to have this bowl for breakfast, I'm going to have this bowl for lunch, and I'm going to have this bowl for dinner. You're not always sort of snacking because you're bored. Sometimes we just sit around and we're just sort of snacking on things, and it's not more out of boredom than it is functional. And so those are the things that I'm hoping to kind of balance and tweak, you know, with this cleanse. And then just, you know, all the great benefits that come along with cleansing, with doing the herbs, with, you know, just pulling out whatever toxins I've come in contact with, you know, over the past few months. And just, you know, reset. So I want to move on, and I'm going to ask participants questions. I want to share, I'm not going to give a name here because some of these intentions are very personal, so I'm not going to give a name. But what I have here is, you know, I'm going to quote and read from this intention here. I have noticed my body naturally tuned into the cleanse, and I have no desire to eat eggs and cheese, which are a big part of my diet. That is a big deal for me. I stopped eating wheat and anything with wheat gluten, rice, potato, rice, tapioca starch, etc. about 2 months ago, and immediately felt the difference in my body. The releasing of wheat was letting go of an addiction, which I also connect to a release of an event almost a year ago, and it has led to the greatest of transformation. Through spiritual and psychotherapy, I've given up these addictions and feel so connected to Source and Self. This cleanse has come at the most perfect time, and I feel as though I am pregnant and my due date is approaching. This preparing for the cleanse is like I am nesting, and I will spend the next 5 days clearing and cleansing for this amazing birth of myself. I intend to be as patient and understanding with myself as I would with someone I was supporting. I understand there will be a labor of sorts and discomfort I will find peace in, and ride the wave just as I have done in my actual labors. I intend to be my best friend with the greatest love and care. Isn't that amazing? I love this intention. Thank you so much for sharing this. And I needed to vocalize it out to the masses because I'm sure many of you can relate to that. This is from a young lady who has birthed a few of her own children and has really associated this process of cleansing with the journey into being a mother and the pregnancy and the nesting that hits at the end of your pregnancy and this whole newness of being that you feel after you've had your baby. And I love it. I love it. And it's this type of preparation that sets you up to have beyond physical growth and transformation in this cleanse process, which is the whole point for the HO2 cleanse, is for it to be a lifestyle enhancement, giving you tools to really enhance your life. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to leave it out to anonymous. If you ever want to claim that for yourself, post it up on the HO2 cleanse page. I will, unless I'm told, always read anonymous because I don't want anyone's personal stuff to be out there for the world. So we have another participant who shared a lovely intention that I want to give, and also she has questions that I thought would benefit you. So let's see. So she says, you know, she's glad to get started on schedule. I have a couple of questions I'm hoping you can answer for me before I start. First, I have a Vitamix, but no juicer. I see in the materials that you suggest we run the blended mixture through a strainer cheesecloth before we drink it. Is it okay to just drink the juices without straining first? I'd rather not go through all the effort of straining, and isn't all that fiber stuff good for us anyway? Just wondering what you think of that. This is a really great question. So, first of all, there's two parts here that I want to focus on. If you're using your Vitamix to blend your smoothies, absolutely no need to strain. But if you're wanting to use your Vitamix as a juicer, you're absolutely welcome to not strain it, drink it with the pulp, but I want you to understand the difference. When you are using a juice, when you strain the pulp out, that's the fibrous part of the plant that wakes up digestion. When you strain the fibrous part of the plant out and you're just left with the juice, your body does not go into digest mode. So you put yourself into a place where you're fasting, but you're fasting on pure, fresh green juice. And so for someone who's cleansing for a certain period of days like we are, and you're not just doing the juicing, we know that, but you're using the juice as your meal in that moment. So it's basically putting your body in a position where you can fast on the juice for one meal. And the benefit of that is that you're not waking up your digestion, so you're giving your body the opportunity to use that extra energy where you're not eating. You're using that extra energy to heal parts of your body that may be out of sorts. So if you are, say, for example, holding on to a few extra pounds and you want to lose weight, when you start, when you fast for even short periods of time, even just a few hours, even just one meal, you put yourself in a position where your body can now digest the fecal matter that's built up in your colon that needs to release, and you'll have excess bowel movement because of it. So it's just giving yourself more energy in a nutshell. And so, of course, you get all the nutrients, you get the enzymes, you get the benefit of the juicing when you have the fiber in it. But you don't have that extra little notch of, okay, I'm giving myself this opportunity to fast completely, because your digestion will not be affected. It will not be activated when you strain the fiber out. If you have the fiber in there, you're going to be doing some digestive work. Is it going to be a lot less than digesting a steak or a heavy meal with lots of starches? Yes, absolutely. It's going to be way less energy devoted to your digestion, but you will be digesting nonetheless. So I leave it up to you based on your goals, based on what you'd like to accomplish in the cleanse. You get to decide how you want to do it. And maybe one day you do it without, with the strain, and one day you not. You might even check it out, test it out, and see, how do I feel when I strain? How do I feel when I don't strain? There may not be much of a difference. You might notice an energy surge. So just kind of pay attention to that. The other question you have, you said also a little question. I sometimes like almond butter in my smoothie. I see that you have soaked almonds in one of them, but I didn't see a mention of almond butter. Let me know what you think. So, with almonds, absolutely you can use almond butter. I only suggested the soaked almonds as another option to keep it minimally processed. Because as you know, with almond butter, they've already processed the almonds into a butter. So if you are on a schedule, soaking the almonds is going to take a little bit more time for you, then maybe do the almond butter, and it's totally fine. But every opportunity I can, I try to present little options of where you can stay whole and where it's quick and where it's also a little bit less expensive. Buying a bag of almonds and soaking a cup of almonds in water in your fridge is going to stretch longer in your budget than buying jars of almond butter. So just something to think about. Do I have almond butter in my cabinet? Absolutely, because I have a 9 going on 10-year-old who loves almond butter. And as a mom making meals quickly, sometimes I need to quickly put almond butter on a sandwich or quickly put almond butter in the blender, not having time to soak the almonds. But as much as I can, I always have a little jar of water in the fridge soaking almonds. So that's the answer to that. The other thing you had is, and if I'm using hemp seed, must I soak it first? You introduced me to hemp seeds and smoothies the first time I did this cleanse, and I've grown to love them, but I haven't soaked them at all. So a good general rule of thumb is, if you have seeds, seeds are less difficult to digest than nuts. They're a lot easier on your digestion. So where it's nice to soak hemp seeds or soak sunflower seeds or soak sesame seeds, you don't have to. It's not as important as soaking the nuts. So using the hemp seed is perfectly fine without soaking. That's the answer to your question. And so let me move along. I think we have one more. see it here right now. But those are great questions. And as you know, these questions are coming up. If you find yourself with questions, go onto your computer or go onto email and send them to me so that I can post them on the HO2 Cleanse Facebook page. You can post them on the HO2 Cleanse Facebook page. And if you also want to join in with setting your intention, please feel free to post these intentions out to the world on the Facebook page. The goal of that is you're helping others by sharing your experience, because there's someone out there that's going to hear this and say, wow, that sounds like me. And so it helps other people to hear where you are in your struggles. If it's an issue where you don't really want to expose, it's a little bit more private, you can email it to me and I can post it anonymously on the page. Either way, getting it out there, it helps you to share that story. It helps you on a psychological level and a spiritual level. Sort of unloads you of that energy. And then it also, if it's your intention, it magnifies the intention just in you saying it, just in the power of writing it out or speaking it out. It gives it life. So again, I want to thank many of you for taking the time out to send me these questions, taking the time out to do such wonderful preparation for your cleanse. I'm so excited about this group, and you will be seeing me in and out of the HO2 Cleanse Facebook page. So if you haven't already, go on Facebook and like that page so that you can be a part of the process. Even if you're not a part of our group, that's still available for you to use in your own journey, and hopefully you'll join us maybe next time. So I think that might be it. But I want to thank everybody, and again, my name is Keya. I'm here with Haryatma Yoga Herbs, haryatma.com, HARIATMA.com. I look forward to joining with you on one of my cleanse programs or one of my yoga classes. Check us out and have a beautiful, wonderful spring day. Blessings, peace, and love to you all.